Hey everyone, I'm Mary Beth McAndrews from Dread Central, and I am here with Ryûhei Kitamura, the director of The Price We Pay, his newest film, but you've also seen his films like Midnight Meat Train and Godzilla Final Wars, which is so cool. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. It's a very good way to start a new year with new movie coming out.
Yeah, for sure. So for our viewers who aren't familiar, can you just tell them a little bit about The Price We Pay?
So this all started in the middle of the lockdown when, of course,
Okay.
as everybody else, all the, my movie projects were postponed or stopped or disappeared. So then I met this super talented writer who lives in UK named Christopher Jolly. And I guess this is kind of modern way of the movie making, but I never met him in person, but I met him over the email and met him over the Zoom. And we started talking about, because entire world has stopped, and instead of complaining or depressing or worrying about the future, if this is the end of the year, this is it. So why don't we just come up with the idea so that once the world opens up, we just go out and do something fun. So we started talking about a lot, and one day start trading the ideas, and Chris came up with this basic concept of this price we pay, and that's when things really started exciting. So we started working on the script together, and after a few months we had a script. And I felt that was like beginning of 2021, and still
Okay.
the world was under lockdown. So I almost felt like, why don't I just go out there with my friends and just do this, because I came from, my background is Japanese indie style guerrilla filmmaking anyway. So I know
Yeah.
how to do it, and I have good friends. So, the world is not open up yet, but let's just go out and do this crazy movie. And things started really rolling. One of the producer, Robert, sent a script to Emil Harsh. And I was surprised, but Emil said, he's a huge fan of me. He loves the script. He wants to do it. So like, oh, okay. I thought I was almost going to do the student indie movie, but now I have to think, all right. Then Emil made a phone call to Stephen Dove, and Stephen called me. I was in Japantown, and I was eating miso ramen noodle. Then I got a call from unknown numbers like, hey, who the fuck is this? And he said, it was Stephen Dove. Like, oh shit.
You're like, whoa, hello.
And I was worried that my noodle gonna get cold soon. So the Stephen was like, Emil says great thing about you. I love the script. So what are you thinking? So I spoke very fast because I wanted to go back to my noodle.
You're like, I'm eating.
Yeah. Then after like 10 minutes, Stephen said like, I love everything you said. I'm in. So like, wow, suddenly I got Emil Harsh and Stephen Duff. So but the thing was, I had another obligation in Japan. I had to do another movie,
Okay.
So this slot was very thin. So I basically had, believe it or not, I had only 5 days to prep this movie, then 15 days to shoot this movie. Because this Japanese movie I was doing was much bigger. So I had like 50 my crew were waiting in my crew office.
Wow.
And my Japanese producer was calling me, you have to come. So I said, I know I have to go, but come on. I have Emil Harsh, Stephen Dove. Come on, let me do this. Give me 3 weeks. 3 weeks, I'll be there. So they gave me, and so that's what I did. 5 days prep, 15 days shoot.
Oh my God.
It doesn't look like that, right? But
I was gonna say, wow, like like this production quality, and especially a lot of the gore, it doesn't feel like it was that quick.
But like I said, I'm a Japanese indie style guerrilla filmmaker, so I still know. I'm not spoiled in Hollywood. I still know how to make a crazy movie. So it was like chaos, super high tension every day, because nothing was really, even though you have enough budget and even you have enough prep time, on the set everything goes south, right? Everything, always. So imagine if you have only like 5 days to prep this movie. And I met Emil and Steve and the Barton Wells day before we start shooting. Because everything moved like super fast.
Yeah.
So, hey, nice to meet you. Let's go out to dinner. Then tomorrow we're
gonna go film.
Yeah.
We're gonna put you through hell for a couple days.
Yeah, but we knew that it's going to be chaotic. But we just decided to do it. It's now or never, because making movies is hard enough, but setting up the movie is even harder, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, if we miss that spot, we had no idea when me and Emil and Stephen were available and when we have enough money to do it. So like, it's now or never, then let's do it now, even though we knew that is going to be the chaos. So, but
Yeah.
it was like, me going back to this indie days of filmmaking. So it was fun.
That's awesome. Well, so okay, so you said that you and Christopher Jolly collaborated on the story. I know he wrote the screenplay, but you worked together on the story. So I wanted to hear a little bit more, especially about the development of kind of like our female monster character who we don't really hear from, and like where that kind of idea came from and how you developed that character specifically. Because I was really drawn to that character while watching this.
Yes. And of course, because of the lockdown and because the movie I was about to do in Japan is very different to this movie I did in
Yeah.
Japan. It's very heartwarming human drama, fantasy drama, believe it or not. No blood, no killing, nothing, no evil person. This is like very heartwarming, but it's been my top of the list passion project. So I was doing it. I'm very proud of the movie. Hopefully it's going to come out in US too, but
Awesome.
and because of I was deep into developing that heartwarming story, and the movie I did before The Price We Pay in America is the movie called The Doorman, which is more like straightforward action movie. So all this lockdown and everything, the entire world was like, kind of depressed. I felt like, I just want to go back to my crazy roots. And I wanted to do something like 90s vibe, like just like super gore, crazy fun ride,
Yeah.
So as we developing the script, yes, of course, if you want to do the 90s, splatter, horror, gore, violence, thriller movie, you need to have this horror icon, right? So we created the character, but along the way, I sent the script to my another, writing partner, Joey O'Brien, who we did the Downrange together,
Mm-hmm.
And so he's my friend. So I asked him for advice, and he said, like, you know what? I mean, we've seen this big guy with axe and hatchet and everything killing everybody, but we don't really see big woman doing that. So like, that's cool. So actually, that was like Joey O'Brien, inspired me. So I told Chris, hey, let's do this to, turn into lady assassin, crazy killer. But the problem was, then, like I said, I had only 5 days to prep, seriously, everything.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we shot this movie in New Mexico, and we looked everywhere. And I said, like, I need somebody who's taller, bigger, stronger than me. And I'm a tall guy,
Yeah.
So like, producer was like, you can't find somebody taller than you, and you want a female. Come on, what the fuck? Right? So I was like desperate, and we had like another candidate, but they weren't like look tough. They weren't look scary to me until like I said, I had only 5 days of prep, and then I think it was like 4 p.m. Friday, and I was like desperate. Then one of the lead actors from Downrange, Stephanie, she's my friend, Stephanie Pearson. She just texted me and said, hey, take a look at this girl. That was Eric Irvin. And I looked at her like, shit, she's like bigger than me. So I called my producer, Andre, and said, like, get her. And he was like, come on, it's 4 p.m. Friday. What are you talking about? We start shooting on Monday, but just make it happen. And he did. And Erica, came to New Mexico Sunday, and she did amazing.
I was going to say, she's incredible. Like, she is such a presence. I mean, obviously, because she's so big, but man, she's incredible with no dialogue, especially. Like, she really dominates the screen.
Yes. And, she used to be the model, and she used to be the wrestler. So she knew how to fight.
That's so cool. So
she was such a professional. She was amazing. I mean, I found her Friday evening, and, she came, and it was hard on her, in the summer of New Mexico with all the costume and the special makeup on it, and she never complained, and so she was amazing.
That's amazing. Mm-hmm. So I do want to say, so your film Midnight Meat Train from a while ago, that was the film I found when I was younger, and I made all my friends watch it in high school, and I became the weird friend who was no longer allowed to pick movies because I made everyone watch your film. So I just wanted to hear a little bit more about your experience making that movie. It was very life-changing for me. So it's just like very cool to talk to you because that movie was like kind of my first foray into extreme gory horror and got me hooked. So I just wanted to hear more about that from you.
More about the Minami train.
Yeah, just like what that experience was like.
No, that was pure joy. But it was funny that I quit my high school when I was 17 back in 1987, right? And because
Okay.
I was a huge fan of like Mad Max, Razorback, Highlander, In Excess, so I decided to go down under. So I went to film school over there, right?
Oh,
Then my
cool.
friend, though this is like back in 1987, there was no Zoom, no online, no internet, right?
Yeah.
So only thing I got was like this airmail from Japan. So my friend one day wrote me and said like, hey, there is this new book coming out next month. It's called The Midnight Meat Train, Books of Blood. And Stephen King says that this guy is a future of horror. So like, what? So I called my girlfriend, and said, honey, you have to go to the bookstore and buy this book called Midnight Meat Train and send it to me. And I still have this, I don't know, I mean, almost 40-year-old, 35-year-old, first edition of the Midnight Meat Train came up in Japan. And I read it, I loved it. So I still have it in my bookshelf here. So,
That's so cool.
how would I know that, one day this is going to be my first American movie and I'm going to turn this into the movie. So it was crazy. So
That's
I
wild.
yeah, it was wild. It was fun, So and it's another fun story that I was in LA back in 2006, right? Because
Mhm.
I wanted to see the band Asia. Do you remember Asia? Heat
Oh,
of the
oh
Moment?
yeah. Oh yeah. Oh
I'm
yeah.
a hardcore fan, and back in 2006, they were doing reunion tour. So I said, like, I'm gonna just chase wherever all the West Coast, wherever Asia goes. Seriously. So I went like 5 concerts, West Coast Asia, right? Then I just signed with my new manager at that time. So I said, hey, I'm in LA. So like, are you in LA? What are you doing? Well, I came here to see Asia. Asia? Yeah, heat of the moment. Don't cry. Go, come on. But the concert is done. So I give you Monday to Friday. Saturday, I go to Six Flags, Magic Mountain. Sunday, I go back to Japan. So Monday to Friday, set up whatever the meeting, because I just signed with them. So the first meeting was Monday, 10 a.m. at Lakeshore Entertainment. And I met this producer, Gary Rukeji. We started talking and he said, I really like you. I think we have a perfect project for you. And oh yeah, okay, what is it? And he gave me the script of the Midnight Meat Train. And I took a look at the title and said, no, I don't want to read it. I don't want to do it. I don't want you to do it. You're talking about the Clive Barker book, right? And this is what I said to the producer, Gary Rukeji. You Hollywood, stop messing with this great book or stop doing this stupid remake, just don't. I don't believe that you have this script is good enough. No. So then he laughed and said, we worked with Clive himself closely on the script. So, just take it and take a look and come back Wednesday. And if you don't like it, you don't have to do it. We'll find something else. So I didn't want it, but I took the script back and I started reading and this was pretty good. So Wednesday I went back and said like, well, script needs some work, but this has the potential. I'm surprised. Then he said, all right, come back Friday. It's like, okay. So I went back Friday. This was the last stop with this big boss, Tom Rosenberg, who produced $1 Million Baby, So the
Yeah.
Gary Lucchese, Tom Rosenberg, and he said, like, Ryûhei, tell Tom, what do you think about the script? So I said, that was like the shortest pitch of my entire career. I said, you know what? I'm became famous because I'm doing this over-the-top action and gore and splatter, that kind of stuff. But to me, it's always about the character and the story.
Yeah.
This guy, Leon, 28-year-old, wanna be somebody, a photographer, but he's actually nobody. Only friends, only people who believe in him is his girlfriend and his best friend. That's it. Even himself is losing his face. Maybe I cannot make it.
Yeah.
You know what? This is 10 years ago me. I was nobody. Only my girlfriend and my friends were supporting me, but I was nobody. So if 10 years ago, the big producer like you came to me and said, hey, I'll let you make a movie, but to do that, you have to kill that guy and bury the dead body in the desert somewhere. I would have done it. That's how I was hungry. That's how I was passionate and hungry, because I was so
Yeah.
tired of being invisible. And this character is like that. That's why he decided to, take a chance, go into the, dark part of the city, start taking dangerous photography, ended up in hell.
Yeah.
If I understand the character, I can make a movie. So that's it. That's all I have to say. And I walked out the room. Then my manager called me and said, like, Ryûhei, you turn. You go back into the office. What? You're hired.
That's so cool.
So that's how I got the job. So that was fun.
That's incredible. Well, Ryûhei, thank you so much for taking the time to chat with me about The Price We Pay and Midnight Meat Train. I really appreciate it. And everybody, The Price We Pay is out now on VOD and available in select theaters. Thank you.
Thank you so much.